75 days. That's how long I'm gonna give you to change your life. So by January 1st, you are already walking into the woman that you wanna be. You're not trying to find her, and you're already developing the habits that you need to do. So by the new year, you are already a new woman. So in this video, we're gonna talk about the 75-day challenge. And no, it's not the one that you're used to and the ones you always hear about with the do 2 45-minute workouts, drink all that water, read the book. No, this is gonna be one that's gonna be personalized specifically for you so you can change your specific life, not just so you can test yourself and see if you can pass unnamed goal. So let's start. The first thing I want you to do is think about 5 categories. I want you to think about financially, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Now, I want you to essentially put these on a meter of 1 through 10 to see which one is not necessarily more important to you, but kind of trying to figure out how important it is to you to change to be the woman that you want to be. So envision how you want to be when January 1st comes 2025. How do you want to look? What are some of the habits that you want to already be doing? And essentially, you just want to start doing more in the new year. And so how important is it to you to build a stronger spiritual connection? How important is you to become better with your finances or become better mentally or emotionally? And rate it 1 through 10 in importance to you. The reason why this differs from the traditional 75 hard challenge is because it was just a whole bunch of hard things just to see if you can do it. Literally, the person who created it thinking that he was just going to say a whole bunch of hard things and no one can do it. And then it became a challenge and a whole bunch of people did it. But there was no real intent behind it. There was no real goal behind it. And so a lot of people do achieve it, but you're achieving a goal that's not particularly important to you. For example, a lot of people are going to say physically they want to be at a 10, right? That's how important it is to them. But if financially you're at a 6 and you're currently living in someone else's house, or you're currently in a situation where you're paying your bills week to week and often paying bills late, possibly your physical should not be a 10. Don't think about what society wants from you. Don't think about the things that you want to do with your life. Honestly, maybe you want to start about the things, what do you need? Like, what do you need to change in your life? And then do it 1 through 10 for all of those things. It's very important that you start with these so you know. And also, I know some people are going to have a bit of a confusion between emotionally and mentally. When I think of mentally, I think about your willpower to do things, right? The mental strength that you have to do things. And when I think of emotionally, I more so think of how you react to things. So some people are mentally strong, right? They have a lot of achievements. They've done a lot of things as far as achieving their goals or whatever the case may be. But emotionally, they're not there. Possibly they're not there for themselves. Emotionally, they react to things in a very hasty way. And so they have a higher wanting to change emotionally than mentally. And maybe there's some people on the opposite. They feel like they're pretty level-headed. They're pretty cool. They don't really have that many emotional things going on, too much so, but they want to have a stronger mental strength. They want to achieve more. They want to do more. And they just don't have the willpower to do that. So that's the difference between the two. And the important thing about this is that I want you to start figuring out where do you want to go from here. So once you have these things and you have meters, now I want you to start listing off ways to improve financially. Make a list, ways to improve mentally, ways to improve physically, all these other things. The reasoning behind this is because with this 75 hard challenge, I don't want you to have a specific goal in mind. I don't want the goal to be for you to lose 10 pounds. I don't want the goal to be for you to have a better connection with God. I don't want the goal to, no. We get so wrapped up in outcomes that we don't focus on doing enough. Now that you have this, I want you to start listing out habits you're actually going to do. The problem with a lot of people when they think about their challenge 75 hard, they think about the goal. Okay, by January 1st, I want to look like this. By January 1st, I want to be making this amount of money. By January 1st, I want to have a connection with God and all the other things. No. The whole idea of this challenge is so by January 1st, into the new year, this is what you're going to be building upon. The whole idea now is just to start the healthy habits. So for example, when you're listing some of the things that you want to do, it should not be outcomes. It should not be lose a certain amount of weight. Well, how do you lose that weight? Oh, well, it's going to the gym. It's eating a certain amount of food. It's okay. You're saying you want to be better financially. Yes, we know on your vision board for next year, you want to start that $1 million business and you want to do all those things. That's great. But on your vision board, you should have increasing your your financial literacy, right? Because you're saying you want to make all this money next year, but how you think you're going to manage $1 million if you can't even manage $1,000, right? We're thinking about these goals in mind to how we want to have the habits for next year. These things that we're putting down are things that we already want to be doing. By next year, yes, you want to be going to church every single Sunday and you want to have a better relationship with God. That's great. But what is that going to look like for you now? Is that going to look like you reading your Bible for 15 minutes a day? What is that? You want to have a better mental strength. Okay, if you get what I'm saying, like the whole idea now is to start just listing off things. And a list can go as long as you want. Don't only list off things that you're like, oh, I think I can fit this into my schedule, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. Just list off a whole bunch of things just to give yourself an idea. Now, going off of those things, I want you to choose, based upon your meter, 5 things you are going to do every single day that is going to help you get closer to the outcome that you want to achieve in 2025. Right now, with the 75 hard, we're not focusing on outcomes. That's one thing I want you to focus on. We are not focusing on outcomes. This challenge is for you to build up the habits that will eventually lead to the outcome that you want to have. So, based upon the meter, what is the most important one to you? Which is the one that was closest to 10 or at 10? Or what are the ones that were at 10? Okay, now look to that list that you recently made and pick some things off of there. So if you were like, okay, I want to do better financially, right now, I'm really struggling and I want to be better with money. Okay, so what does that look like for you? Does that mean we're reading books? Does that mean every single day, you said we're listening to podcasts? Does that mean that we're taking a course on financial literacy? Like, we need to figure out how to do this. Or for some people, that's developing a skill, right? There's a skill that I can do that can make me more money. What does that skill look like? Going off the thing of physical, right? Just because you want to change physically, it actually doesn't mean you have to do physical things. Maybe for you is, I want to eat healthier. January 1st, 2025, I'll start working out. I'll start focusing more on going to the gym. But right now, I think I want to pick off the list that you made of all those things. Right now, eating healthier. The idea is to come up with 5 things that you are going to do on a daily basis. Now, the thing I want you to think about when you are creating this thing of the 75 hard list, it has to be a certain sweet spot. It cannot be things so easy that you're already, if it's something on the list that you're already doing now, take it off the list. That's not going to be a challenge to you. But if it's something on the list that you've never possibly done before, it possibly should not be on the list for you as well. Now, I'm not saying to make it easy, but honestly, put it as challenging as you want it to be. But I think sometimes people challenge themselves way too much and they're not realistic. Similar to the traditional 75 hard, it's like do 2 45-minute workouts, one inside, one outside. If you already don't work out at all, I don't think doing 2 45-minute workouts will be effective for you, because then you're not getting into the habit of working out. You're not really getting into the habit of enjoying your workout. It just becomes a task that you have to do. We're trying to get you to develop these habits. So I'm going to read off my 75 hard list to hopefully give you guys an idea of what I'm trying to say, and then the reasons behind I chose certain things. So one for me is 2 10-minute workouts a day. Now, these workouts are probably going to be like the ones on YouTube, the core workouts, things like that. I do go to the gym here and there, but honestly, physical change is not that big for me. This one is a 2-in-1 for me. So this one is actually a little bit on the mental side. I want to build up my mental endurance to start doing the things I actually said I'm going to do. But then I feel like physically, yes, there are some changes that I want to do. But for me, that's kind of like a 2-in-1. It's something that's challenging enough that I don't do it and I haven't done it in a very long time. I've actually only done it once a day. So now adding it 2 times a day, I feel like it's only 10 minutes. That's something that's achievable, but it's still something I'm gonna have to get myself to do and adjust it in my schedule and make sure that I'm doing it, but it's something that I can do. The next one is certain diet. So my diet is going to consist of no fried foods and 65 grams of protein a day. Now, when the new year starts, I want to start my protein intake to increase, right? I'm about 130 pounds, 35 pounds, give or take. So I probably want to start eating on average 115 grams of protein a day. My goal now is to eat 65 grams of protein every single day. The idea behind that is I don't want it to be the person that I want to be January 1st. The idea is not to create your January 1st woman. The idea is to start the foundation, the building blocks to her. So when you actually are kicking in the gear, when you have that beginning of the year motivation, it's all going to come together. And then I also said no fried foods because I just want to cut out my fried foods. I feel like essentially it's not good for you, and that's just the easy one as far as just a duh. But both of these things are challenging enough that I have to be intentional, but then they're doable enough that they're a foundation for me, and they're not something that I feel like I'm gonna tap out on because it's gonna exhaust me. The next one, I want to increase my financial literacy. There's a lot of things I want to do as far as my business, as far as content creation, just so many things in 2025. So on here, I said, I want to read a financial literacy book, at least 10 to 15 pages a day. Actually, let's be very specific. 15 pages a day, every single day. The idea is now I'm going to increase my financial literacy, right? That's something that will help me in the new year. So when I do get into starting my business back up and all these other things, I will not make the mistakes that I had before, because now I know how to manage money better. And then even with the money that I got coming in now, I want to get a better understanding of how to manage it. That's something that's very important to me, and that's something that's very high on my totem scale because it's something that I have struggled with before. The next one, 8 cups of water a day, essentially 64 ounces. I just want to increase my water intake. That's just, and I feel like 8 cups of water a day is good. It is something that I can do. It's something that I've kind of already done before, but I've never done consistently. But I feel like for my weight, for my size, this is a good amount for me. And also on the original 75 hard challenge, they said something like a gallon of water a day. That's actually not even healthy for everybody's size. So that's another thing too. Like sometimes research some of these things because they'll tell you to do something, but it's a one size fits all. And as we know in life, it's not that way. And then another one is journal. But in my journal, every single night, I'm either going to do just a journal of my day. I want to start doing shadow work and also more so life scripting. I've talked about shadow work in my videos before. It's just about learning the root of a lot of times your trauma and things that you're going through. If you're interested in that, I recommend going on going on Google and just type in shadow work prompts, go on Pinterest, shadow work journal prompts. And also I want to start doing more so life scripting. It's something that I did before, but I want to get into more. Life scripting is essentially when you're writing in your journal as the person that you want to be. So I want to start writing as my January 1st girl, 2025, a woman, I should say. I want to start writing in my journal as my, May 10th, 2025 girl. I want to start writing my journal even as my May 10th, 2027 girl. Like I want to start doing it so I can be very specific about what kind of car do I want to drive? How do I want to wake up? What does my day consist of? Because I feel like I've talked about it so much in my videos, but journaling is just good as far as expressing yourself and getting your emotions out. It's also good on just a level of keeping track of, what are your ideas at the moment and what were you feeling at that moment and what were your wants and your desires and just seeing how they have changed. Now, the final step I want you to do, once you figure out the things that you want to do, you need to put them inside a schedule. I recommend to create a time block. Inside of the block off the hours that you're going to be at work or school, and then block off the time period it's going to take you to get there as well, because some people don't account for that travel time. Then I want you to put specific time. What time are you waking up? What time are you going to sleep? And what time are you fitting in all of these things? Even if it comes to drinking water, I have it so I know I'm drinking 8 ounces by this time. I'm drinking 8 ounces by this time. I said I want to drink a certain amount of water. I need to put it on there so that by the time 5 o'clock comes, I can tell myself, hey, did you drink enough water today? Or are you about to have to guzzle all this water at night and then be all up all night using the bathroom? I have to tell myself, did you do one workout already? Or are you about to have to do two 10-minute workouts in the middle of the night because you didn't do it earlier? Or even when you start creating a schedule inside of your day, I can tell myself, hey, today I can't do it during the morning and the night, the workouts, because tonight I'm supposed to be going out with my friends. It's her birthday. So instead I'm going to be doing 2 10-minute workouts in the morning. The whole idea is that if you do not put it in a schedule, you are going to be less likely to do that thing because you're not going to know how it fits into your life. With these habits that you want to create, you need to integrate them into the habits that you already have. You already have habits. You're not inventing something new. Habits are already a part of your day. The whole idea is to insert more habits, and they're not going to be inserted simply because you wrote a list of what you want to do or simply because you said you want to change your life. That's one of the things I think most people mess themselves up the most, is because they create these challenges, they create these lists, but they never actually sit down with themselves and say, okay, this is the time period I'm supposed to be doing this. This is the time period I'm supposed to be doing that. So it's easy for the middle of the night to come. You're supposed to be going to sleep in 20 minutes and you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot to read. Oh my gosh, I forgot the water. Oh my gosh, I forgot whatever you were supposed to do. And now you're trying to cram everything in. You possibly don't have the time, or now you have to stay up later. So which means you have to wake up the next day with less energy. It just creates a pattern of mess that you don't want to do. So So I invite everybody, create your own 75-day challenge. 75 days from December 31st is October 17th. So I know it's not too much time, but create this list. Start out with what is most important to you with that meter 1 through 10 and go from there. And be realistic with yourself. Like, be realistic with the changes that you need to come into your life. Everybody wants the dream body. Everybody wants to have the nice car. Everybody wants to go on the shopping sprees. That's great. But if you are struggling to pay your bills, if you are struggling to essentially keep a house over your head, if you are struggling with your mental health, there's certain things that sound good in theory, but if you're not really developing a habit to help that thing is gonna keep happening. So we want for 2025 us to be new people, new women, and we're going to do that with creating new habits. I mentioned in my previous video that I want to create a group chat for you guys. Also, if you haven't already, go into the description below and sign up for my newsletter. That's where I will send out official invite for the group chat. And then also, if you are doing a 75-day challenge, I do definitely recommend it. It's how to, essentially I'll give you guys tips and tricks on how to stay consistent, but then give you guys weekly motivation and things of that sort. But comment below, where do you guys want me to create the group chat? Should it be like a Facebook? Should it be like a Discord? Should it be, where should I create that? That's another problem that'll happen. But I really feel like it would be great to have encouragement from each other. It would be great to share ideas. There could be somebody in there meal prepping, helping you come up with meals, somebody showing you workout plans. Like, I feel like having a community of individuals that you can interact with and are essentially going through the same thing as you realize the same struggles, the same trials, and the same tribulations, but they just started. It just gives you more momentum to be like, you know what? That girl said she was up all night studying and she still went to the gym. I can go to the gym just because I'm gonna be there 30 minutes late. Like, I don't know. I think sometimes perspective is great as well. So as I said before, I hope you guys really do it. Like, do not wait till January 1st. Do not convince yourself the new year you're going to become a new person. If you're not willing to start now, if you're not willing to change now, I promise you're going to be one of those people January 7th that's going to tap out. You're going to have a good week, maybe two, but then something is going to come up. You're going to catch a cold. You're going to wake up late. Something is going to happen and you're not going to stay consistent because you already didn't have the habits. So if you want to become that girl in 2025, you should do this 75-day challenge for you to start becoming her now. And if you have any friends that you know they want to change, whatever, share this video with them. I always tell y'all like, comment, and share, but definitely share this video with anybody who you feel like, they say they want to change, they say they want to do this. All right, let's see it. Let's see you about it. Let's do it. Cause I'm so serious about changing my life. So I was like, listen, I want everybody to do this. Don't get into the whole 75-day challenge of doing all that random stuff. Like, no, let's create this for us. So thank y'all so much for watching the video. And I know I already said it, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me if y'all are doing it. And also to give other people any kind of ideas or motivation, put down some of the things you're doing. I list all the things, the 5 things that I'm going to be doing, but I would really like that too. If y'all list the 5 things that you want to start doing, and you want to starting for your 75-day challenge. So thank y'all so much and have a great one. And don't forget to come back for new videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. And like I said, don't forget to go in the caption below and sign up for my newsletter to stay updated about everything going on. Thank y'all and have a great one.